Cool. Okay, so the first, basically the movement screen we always start with is kind of like the entryway point is our functional movement screen. So basically we call this our quick and dirty screen because it just lets us know, is there something going on with how you move as an athlete. The main takeaway I tell people is if you don't move super well, it doesn't mean you're not the best athlete you ever could be. There's a lot of high-level athletes in the NBA and NFL that don't do very well on this test, but yet they make millions of dollars all the time. So this just lets us know there's something maybe wrong in the road that we need to fix it. It doesn't tell us exactly what's going on, but it kind of creates a bridge of communication. Says, okay, I asked you to do this, you know what I asked you to do, and it didn't go so well. It kind of starts the conversation of, let's start talking about this a little bit. So there's just 7 major movement screens, and essentially there's a scoring ratio from 0 to 3. 3 is a ninja, you move really well. We may see some 3s here, maybe not. 2 is an acceptable, we expect 80% of our movements to happen in that 2. A 1 is essentially dysfunctional, kind of a participation award kind of style. And then a 0 is essentially painful. So I'm going to say, hey, John, after you do a movement, did that hurt? And you're going to say no or yes, and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so the first movement, guys, is going to be the overhead deep squat. So traditionally with the FMS, they do test for the 3 tests and they back them way down. Just because I've done probably about 500 of these, I've learned to do it a little bit faster. So we're going to test these athletes for the 2 tests and then make them earn their right to get the harder version of the test to get the higher score.
Okay.
Cool. So John, you're already in position, your heels on the board, you're going to be shoulder width stance. I'm going to give you this stick or the dowel rod. You're going to press it directly overhead and then you're going to go in this deepest squat you can. Easy. Great. When you're ready? Good. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to see a side view of you. Go ahead and do that again. Cool. That looks great. So John moves really well. So I'm going to have him step off the board, do the same movement. No, you're not done yet. Yeah, so heels, don't worry about the board anymore. Toes at 12 o'clock, shoulder width stance, squat as deep as you can. Cool. And come back up. So, you want to know your score?
Yeah.
That's a 3.
Oh, ninja.
Yeah, so Chris, your turn now. All right, so you're going to start with the heels on the board, earn your way off the board, arms are overhead, deepest squat you can go. Good. Come back out. You were making yourself sound like you were some Tin Man. That's pretty good. Yeah, no. Good. So do that one more time for me. I'm going to check something else out. Good. All right. You're good. You're sticking with the 2, Chris, today.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. All right. Next movement, guys, is going to be the hurdle step. I call this the field goal, stepping over the field goal. So, quick thing I'll measure. You guys are twins, so you guys should have the same size tibia. So give me your leg, Chris.
Okay.
You're right-footed. So I'm going to measure your tibia just to kind of right to the bone there. So 17 inches. I'll just check yours, just in case. Yep, you're the same. All right, so this one, you're going to basically have your toes touching the board. Your feet are going to be together. I'm going to give you this dowel rod. You're going to put this on your back. Your eyes are going to be tracking at your 12 o'clock. You're going to step up and over the cord. You can't look down. You're going to touch the ground with your heel, then return to starting position. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Eyes are forward. So the foot you're stepping over, you're going to start with your right foot stepping over, up and over. Good. Touch of the heel, and then return to starting position. That was really good. Let's do the left leg. Good. Great. What do you think? Do you think you're better on one side than the other? So,
do it again. All
right, so do one more on each side. Good. Don't kick over my goalpost. That happens. Good. All right. Cool. That was great. I'll have you you got 2s.
Oh.
No one gets a 21.
I got a 20 once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I think you gave it to me. Max.
That would be. or I've just gotten better at yeah, feet together.
Oh, feet together?
Yeah, feet together, toes here.
Oh, that's easier.
Eyes are forward, and then up and over. And the other thing we're looking at too is easiness of movement. Does it look fluid, or does he really straining? Does he have the veins coming out and everything?
Like that big one in his neck.
Yeah, the holding the breath one. Good. I like it. You guys are both got 2s. There's some subtle things. So basically one of the major things I kind of nailed you guys for was the dowel rod needs to stay kind of parallel. And I don't cue that because I want to see
what you do naturally.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. So, all right. Do you want to break it off for any of these or no?
Nope.
Just keep rolling. All right. This one's the fun one. This is the inline lunge. Okay, so this one lets us know how balanced you are in a line. It's a lateral stability test. So your right foot will be on the red line. Your heel of your left foot will be at the 17-inch mark because that's both of your tibial lengths. So just so you can just see that 17-inch mark, your eyes are going to be tracking forward. Test 1, because I like testing if you have good balance, is can you balance, keeping that back heel down. Test 2 is opposite the lead leg. So my left leg's in front, my right hand's up top. My left hand is going to go right where my belt loop is, and when you're ready, you're going to drop yourself into a nice lunge, kiss the knee down, and then come back up. The scoring criteria is you just have to go down and up. You don't even have to touch the board technically, you just have to go down and up. Cool?
Okay.
But to get to 3, you have to make it look pretty.
Right foot back first?
Yeah, right there first. Heel of at the 17. Good. All right, test 1, eyes forward. All right, you look nice and stable to me. Stick will go. So right hand will be back of the neck, right where that brim, and then left hand looks good. Drop your knee down when you're ready. Good. And then come on up. Great. So I don't need to see that again. That looked great. That's a 3.
Perfect.
Cool.
Other side?
Yes, sir. So step on off for me. And this one traditionally with a lot of our cyclists tends to be one that people are very tough with because their whole world is sagittal plane or forward.
Yeah.
So this one measures how well you can stabilize side to side. This is usually one that people can fall off the board. I have to be very hands-on with. Seriously. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So when you're ready, sir.
Good.
Yep. You can't fall on camera. You're here. Good. Come back up. All right, John, go and step off for me. Any issues with that at all? No. Pretty easy? Yeah. Yeah, we should have brought in tough ones. You guys are easy. But this is why we have multiple levels of tests because, you know, say where he even goes, say he performs really well, and we know you guys are like pretty much the best homogeneous population to test on because you're the twins, right? But say he smokes this right now, and we know he has a known hip labral tear, and you don't. That's why we do more testing because we know he has some hip pathology, and sometimes these lower level tests don't catch that. Yep. So that's why we test for further stuff.
All right.
So yeah, it looked great. So it's gonna be your left hand up top though, Chris. Opposite the lead leg. Yeah, whatever you want to do. People swing that around all the time and stuff. You're going to drop your right hand to your belt loop. Good. Drop your left knee when you're ready. So we get a front view. Good. I'll get a back view one more time, Chris. Good. That looks good to me. Go and step off.
Is that a 3?
It is a 3. Yeah. You guys are funny. You can't compete on a movement test.
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, sure. All right, right hand up top. Drop your left. Oh, stop. Drop your left hand a little bit. Good. All right, drop your right knee when you're ready. Good. One more time. Get a back view. Good. All right, you guys are awesome. 3s. So the main takeaway with that one, that's the one that I typically see the typical cyclist issues with as far as the more global movements. The FMS now breaks down into more of a smaller movements, what we're testing next. Because, again, most cyclists lack lateral hip stability. That's typically where this lets me know or that lets the cyclist know, oh man, like this is something we got to work on. Okay. You guys did perform pretty well with that. Usually we would see a lot of strain to stay in line. That's usually pretty tough for people that haven't trained that.
Perfect.
So that's good. All right, so next one's a shoulder mobility test. So demo this one. I'll show you what I'm looking in the front, and then I'm going to turn around to show you what the assessment is. So my feet are going to be together. My arms are going to be out to a T. I'm going to take your thumbs. You're going to make a nice tight fist. You're going to go right arm on top, left on bottom, and then we're going to measure the distance in between.
Okay.
Go. So you can go first, John. So and then you turn face back to the thing. Arms to T. Yep. Let's go right arm on top. Great job. That's really, I don't need to measure that. That's really good. So you actually don't want to lift. So just for the purpose of the test, you don't want to lift up that finger at all, but he was a 3 anyway. Okay. So go ahead and do the left arm on top. A little tighter on that side. That's okay. About 6 inches difference. Cool.
Interesting.
All right, let's go, Chris. So swimming background here. So sorry, I'm critical. Feet together.
Oh.
Good. All right, now let's do the left arm on top, please. Good. Okay, so scoring ratio, give me one of your hands. Cool. All right, 7.5. So basically the scoring ratio is based on your hand length. So I'm assuming you guys have probably similar hand sizes.
Yep.
I'm assuming. Is essentially to get the highest score, you get your hand length distance and under. So 7.5, you want to be 7.5 distance and under to get that scoring difference. If you're between 7.5 and time and a half that length. So, so that's 3 1/4.
3/4.
Yeah, 10 and 3, yeah, almost 11 inches. You would get a 2, and if it was beyond that, you would get a 1. So interesting about you was you had basically perfect in regards to they were touching with your right arm on top, but when you came under, right arm under, right into rotation, you felt that. You're about 6 inches different. So the scoring ratio would have shown that he got a 3 on each side, but we're looking at asymmetries here. So right versus left, he went from 1 inch to 6 inches. So that's significant in that regard.
What was my difference?
You were like, it was 3 inches and 2 inches. It was pretty even. So that's just something that we would note later. So in your sport, you're doing, a lot of gymnastics, movements like that. We'd probably want to start talking about your ability to get into some better interrotation and not use parts that you're not supposed to.
Sweet. Right.
So moving on from there. All right. So you guys are all 3s. John will make a note about you. So the next one's just a yay or nay for pain. This is really quick, guys. So both your feet are going to be together. You're going to take your right hand, you're going to bring it to your left shoulder, and you're going to cover your eyes with your elbow. Any pain there, Chris?
Nope.
Any pain there, John?
Nope.
Good. It's left side. This is just a yay or nay for pain. It's an impingement shoulder test.
Nope.
No? Good. You guys are negatives. Good. All right. Can you guys both touch your toes?
Yep.
Okay. That was just for the camera. That wasn't even part of the test. So this next bit's actually going to be an active straight leg raise. Hopefully this should be good for the camera here. So the back of the knees will be on the board. Your feet will be together. Your toes are going to stay flexed. So don't let them just kind of be relaxed ankles. Toes will stay flexed. I'll move this up a little bit. Feet are together. Arms are just out to the side. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift up your right leg as high as you can and back down. So the goal is when you are going into that hip flexion, you got to keep that left leg in the same spot without letting it dump out. Okay, so when you guys get down there, I actually need to measure something. So that right hip bone in the front right, I need to measure that. So give me a little indicator.
Things like this?
Yeah. Do you mind if I measure something on you, John?
Go for it.
Cool. All right. That's nice and easy to find. Most people. Here we go. All right, so toes are flexor. When you're ready, lift up that right leg as high as you can. Good. So basically that measurement I took, if he beats a stick, that's a 3. If he was here, for example, that'd be a 2. If he was here, this person probably can't touch their toes, for example. So makes sense. Let's do the left leg. Cool. All right, you're a ninja. Get out of here. You guys got ready for this.
I've never done this before.
Yep. All right, so same thing. Move up a little bit, Chris. Move this way. Good. Can I take that measurement again?
Yep.
Right, cool. Toes are flexor when you're ready. Great. Great. You guys are boring. 3s. Okay. Cool. All right. So the next one is going to be the trunk stability push-up test. So the kit will be. This is the interesting one. So here the hand positions are a little different for guys and girls. So I'm only say it for the guys because you guys are my peeps right now. So when we're going to be on that down position, because it's going to be hard to demo this on the ground, your hand position is going to start at your chin. That's going to be the 2 test. If you can press the floor away from there, that's great. The 3 test is from the temples or the eyes and press away from there.
Oh, I think a different one, but yes. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this one.
Right. So again, so it'll be nice and clear. You'll be on your stomach. Arms will be out reach. You're going to slide your hands back equal with the chin. Toes in the ground. Flex your quads. Flex your thighs. And press the floor away from you. Cool. Yeah.
So here to chin.
Yep. Scoot back a little bit for me, guys. Yep. Perfect. And then press the floor away from you both at the same time. Good. So we're looking for a universal spinal line from your shoulder through your heel. Everything kind of came up together. So that looked awesome, guys. Now go with you, both of you move your hands up equal with your eyes. You can open up shoulder width, but just from the eyes. When you're ready, go ahead, John. Go ahead, Chris. Good. So a little bit more work, but you guys handled it. So you guys both get 3s for that. So you guys are awesome. John, let me have you back on the ground. I'll show you the follow-up position. So little cobra posture. Remember, do you have any? So we call that the press up clearing test. He's really good at that. Do you have any pain doing that at all?
No.
Good. Chris, show me. All good there? Any pain? Good. Okay. Make sure you're breathing though. Cool. All right. So our last test that we're going to look at today is going to be a bird dog test. The FMS calls it the Rotary stability test. So I like leaving the goalposts on here just so we can kind of give you some some places where your hands and feet need to be. So your hands are going to be in front of the first goalpost, your knees are going to be in between, and your toes are going to be just behind. So the 2 tests, everyone's going to test that first. It's going to be right arm, left leg, out. Then you're going to touch over the board. You're going to go out and then back down, and then you would do the other side. The 3 tests is same side. I want to see one person do this. We'll see what happens.
What's
So
the 3 tests?
the 3 tests, so I'll show you. You're going to be lean on one side. You're going to be out, elbow, out, back down.
And are you allowed to lean?
You can lean, but you can't break contact with the board. That's why I can't get it.
Oh.
So
So your knees and hands have to touch the board.
everything, every piece of limb has to maintain contact with the board. So your hands have to touch the board.
Okay.
Your knees are great. Your toes are great. And then you're going to go right arm, left leg first.
So out like this.
Yep, elbow to knee in the middle. Very good. And then out. That's awesome. Let's do the other side. So again, all the FMS people out there, we all know you would do 3 trials on each side, but we're just trying to get everyone the reps in so we get going here.
What's the 3?
All right, so here's the fun part. So say we're going to move the right and right. You have to maintain contact with the left arm, left knee, left foot. You have to go right and right. So right arm, right leg. So basically, if the criteria is if I can slide a pen in between any of these gaps, and you have to lift off simultaneously, so no.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Now, well, I was coming in with that. Yep. See what you got. Give you a couple tries on each side.
This is so hard.
And we're not, and we're not. I don't think we're wired very effectively for this movement. That's why it's so hard. Like there's a lot of thought going into this. All right, give it another go. Any of our listeners out there, if you can do this, send a video.
Yeah.
Strict.
Boy.
One more shot, and then you're out.
Somebody's getting a 2.
That's a 2. That's a 2. All right, Chris, see what you got. All right, so hands in front, knees in the middle, toes are going to be flexed.
Can you do a 3 on that? Can you get
I'm
that?
probably on one side if I warm up, but that doesn't mean anything because you're not supposed to be warmed up.
Okay.
So you're going to go out and out, Chris, sorry. Out.
What is that showing a deficiency in?
I think it's more of just a kind of a higher level core strengthening thing. And as you know, it's more like of a coordination thing. Like you don't probably lack the strength to do it. You probably just lack the ability to organize the movement at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the goal of any assessment. You don't practice the assessment. See what we got here. So you've got a weight shift. Yep.
Oh, you're allowed to lean like that?
You can weight shift a little bit. You were doing it naturally.
Was I? Okay.
Yeah. Same time though, simultaneously. So left and left. That's the hard part. You got to go from 4 points of contact to 2 very quickly. And that's the reactive core part. That's really hard. So he's 4, no. No way. Not even close. It's got to look like clean like butter. Like everyone on camera's got to be like, oh, that's clean, you know?
Breadcrumbs.
So I'm the bad guy, but his toe is coming out. That's why I say right, because that's the treat. So go and get one on the right. It was close though, and this is probably the best 3 attempts we've ever had in camera in here. It's hard. All right, cool. So that's basically the summation of the test. So we would go through we would do some adding up of the scores. We kind of know globally you guys move really well.
Okay.
I don't think there was a whole lot of like big movement issues that we would find just from the FMS alone. So that's why we usually have follow-up stuff. So
second one, yeah.
we'll follow up with the athlete assessment, which is more of like a joint-by-joint approach. That's kind of global. So you could obviously assume like if, say, something wasn't that great, you can then be like, oh man, that one I was really not great at.
Yep.
How do we fix that?
Exactly.
And that's typically how the conversation starts of, how we can connect. All right, let's fix this movement issue. Let's address it. Let's strengthen it. And then hopefully that carries over into a performance output or end game.
And
Make
now
sense?
we'll get into the athlete assessment
Right.
for a much more thorough look at what we're doing.
Right.
Cool. Awesome.